Well, yesterday's Apple event was a disappointment for me. I didn't know what happened with the Apple Watch Series 7. I was looking forward to a design change, but it didn't happen. The iPad mini 6th generation was a pleasant surprise. And the iPhone 13 kind of had a few hits and misses here and there, but there's one feature that I really like from them, so I'll explain that later after the intro. Apple also announced the iPad 9th generation, which is basically the most affordable iPad you can get from them. It retains the 10.2-inch Liquid Retina display with True Tone. It comes with a new A13 Bionic chip, which allows it to run 20% faster. Importantly, it now comes with the FaceTime camera at 12 megapixel, which is an ultra-wide sensor, and it covers a 122 degrees field of view, and that enables you to use center stage, which was announced in iPad OS. For a device at this cost, I think with that capability, it's truly a very good device for many people. So it comes with two colors, space gray and silver. It also still supports the smart keyboard and the first generation Apple Pencil, and that just sets you back at $499 for the Wi-Fi only model at 64GB. Yeah, the previous model was at 32GB, so they have nicely stepped it up to 64GB, which I find is a good touch. So that is the most affordable iPad you can get. I believe that will sell well for Apple. But now let's talk about the iPad mini 6th generation. It's basically, you think about it like a smaller version of an iPad Air. They probably could have called it the iPad Air mini, but yeah, going with iPad mini is probably the simpler way. It basically has everything what the iPad Air has, but now with the new A15 Bionic chip. And that chip comes with a 6-core CPU and a 5-core GPU, or even a 4-core GPU. I'll explain about that later when you talk about the iPhone 13. But the iPad mini also comes with a 8.3-inch Liquid Retina display, again still the same with True Tone, white color, but now with 500 nits of brightness. As per iPad Air, the Touch ID is on the top, the power button. You have the USB-C port, it's 5G capable. But one thing I noticed was that the volume controls was now on the top left. So your power button is on the top right. So now the volume controls are on the top left. They didn't mention that, but when I looked into the specifications, I found that out. So, well, maybe it makes sense to put it up there, but let's see when I get it in my hands. It also still supports the 2nd generation Apple Pencil as per iPad Air. It now comes with stereo speakers. The previous iPad mini 5th generation only had speakers on the bottom, so when you put it into the landscape mode, you only had sound coming on one side. So now with stereo speakers, you can enjoy the sound in the better way. And the cameras have been upgraded, especially for the front. So it now follows the iPad 9th generation, which is a FaceTime camera at 12 megapixel. Ultra wide camera at I think the aperture is 2.4, so it enables you to use center stage. The back camera is just a single one at 12 megapixel, but I believe it's a larger aperture at f1.8. The basic 64GB Wi-Fi model, it just costs you $749. So again, quite affordable. Imagine like it's just an iPad Air mini version if you're looking for a smaller screen real estate. Now let's talk about Apple Watch Series 7. Basically, the only main difference was that it had the larger screen. Well, it still retains the overall form factor, but the screen size has now been increased. The internal screen size, think about it that way. Now the bezels has gone up to, I think, 1.7 millimeter thin. So it's really stretched right to the border. 70% brighter. That's about it. There's nothing else that is compelling for me to upgrade. I'm on the Series 4, so I wanted to go to the Series 6, but I thought I might hold off for the Series 7, which might have a new health sensor. So it's still got the O2 sensor, the ECG measurements, but that's it. There isn't anything new, and that is what the disappointment for me is all about. So it's really just a very simple iterative generation for this Series 7. So I guess we have to wait for the Series 8 to really see the design change, to follow the design language of what the iPad Pros, the iPad Minis, even the iPhone 12 or 13s are. But we won't be seeing it in this round. So that's it for the Apple Watch Series 7. Nothing much to talk about. Will I get it? Maybe. Yes, one more thing. It seems to be able to charge faster than the Series 6. I think about 33% faster. So kind of enables you to get a quick charge if, let's say, you have been wearing it to monitor your sleep at night. So I guess that's one of the benefits of it. But nothing to shout about. It's the usual colors, and probably going to be selling it at 569 Singapore dollars. Yep, that's it. Apple Watch Series 7 out of the way. Let's talk about the iPhone 13 now. As expected in the rumors, the iPhone 13 cameras has now been placed diagonally instead of being in a vertical position, and it also has a smaller notch on the display, 20% smaller in fact, so it still houses everything in a smaller footprint. 5 new colors were announced, which is pink, blue, midnight, starlight, and product red. It also has a Super Retina XDR display, a brighter screen at 800 nits. It also still retains the 6.1 inch and the 5.4 inch for the iPhone 13 mini, but now it comes with the A15 Bionic chip, which is a 6-core CPU, and for the iPhone 13 it's a 4-core GPU, whereas in the iPhone 13 Pro it will be a 5-core GPU. Then let's talk about the camera system. It still retains the wide camera. I believe it's a new sensor, but it still has an aperture of f1.6 for the wide camera. And the ultra wide is at f2.4 aperture, so kind of like no change in them, but it's still a new sensor. So importantly, for the wide camera, it now comes with sensor shift optical image stabilization, which wasn't found in the previous iPhone 12. So now for the entire range for iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro, it has sensor shift OIS for the wide camera, which is the main camera. And the interesting thing that I wanted to talk about for the iPhone 13 is this new cinematic mode with shallow depth of field. It allows you to do like rack focusing, but it tries to mimic what a DSLR or professional camera can do, where you get a depth of field, and you can also post-process or edit this later to determine how much of a shallow depth of field you want. So that's really cool. The battery life for the iPhone 13 will have about 2.5 hours more than iPhone 12. The mini will have 1.5 hours more than the iPhone 12 mini. So again, better battery life. The iPhone 13 mini will start at $1,149, and for the iPhone 13, it will start at $1,299 for the 128GB models. As for the iPhone 13 Pro, it comes with 4 colors. There's a new Sierra Blue, and you have your graphite, your silver, and your gold models, and they are still stainless steel on the sides. But the key difference between the iPhone 13 and the Pro is that the Pro now comes with Pro Motion display of 120Hz. So it's an adaptive display. If you're not using or doesn't require high refresh rates, it will throttle between 10 to 120Hz. So that is the difference between getting the Pro model versus the normal non-Pro 13 model. And I believe I forgot to mention about this, the ultra wide cameras for both iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro comes with autofocus at the aperture of f1.8. So previously there wasn't any autofocus feature, but now they can do it. And it also has macro photography capability. You can really shoot some close-up macro shots with this camera. The telephoto lens is also increased to 3x, so now you get a total of 6x zoom range. So again, I will talk about the cinematic mode. It allows rack focusing in videos to create that depth. It also allows you to change the level of bokeh during editing, which is way cool. And it also has the new ability to record in ProRes rather than just Dolby Vision. But ProRes mode will be only at 4K 30 frames per second for the 256GB models. If you are having a 128GB model, you can only record that at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So as for battery life, it's got similar benefits. So it's now 1.5 hours longer than the iPhone 12, and for the max version, it's about 2.5 hours longer for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The iPhone 13 Pro starts at $1,649 and the Pro Max starts at $1,799, and that's for both 128GB models, and it now has a new 1TB version. So for those people who really require a lot of storage, if they are heavily into video or like photos or something like that, then probably the 1TB version will be very good for you. So all in all, the iPad mini was the standout for me. Expected that, but I'm still glad it launched. So I'm definitely going to get all those that I mentioned today. I'm still struggling on the Apple Watch Series 7. I may or may not get that, but I'm definitely going to be getting the iPad mini. The iPad 9th generation will be a good addition as a budget iPad for my children. And the iPhone 13 Pro's video capabilities are definitely something that I will look forward to. I'm not sure if it's going to sell as well, because this feature is mainly for people who are content creators who really want to shoot videos that are almost comparable to a professional camera like a DSLR, where you can get the depth of field to create the cinematic look. So I'm very keen on trying that out when I can get the new iPhone 13, which will be available to pre-order this Friday, and I think you can get it 1 week later. So, but I already ordered my iPad mini and iPad 9th generation. I hope I can see it next week and quickly do a video out for you guys. So again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. Subscribe and hit that notification button, and I'll see you soon. Peace.